Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jimmy Allen's introductory press conference after being named the new head men's basketball coach at Army West Point. We will start off with opening statements from Army West Point Director of Athletics Boo Corrigan and Coach Allen, and then open it up for questions. At this time, I'd like to hand it over to Boo Corrigan to introduce Jimmy Allen as the 31st head men's basketball coach at Army West Point.
Thanks, Matt. It's a great day. Today's a wonderful day for a couple of reasons. One, we get to formally announce Jimmy, and we get to start the Jimmy Allen era at Army West Point basketball. I want to thank a couple of people as we go through this process. Lieutenant Colonel Gaylord Green, Bob Beretta, Steph Minio, Garrett Monroe, who were all part of the search committee as we went through this. And we were hurried but not rushed as we went through this process. And it was, as we continue to do what we do and we build out what we're looking for in a profile and what we want in a coach and kind of the tenets of what it is and understanding what our competitors have done in their hiring practices, as well as all the different contexts that we have around the country, and looking at what it was and looking at all the different candidates. And we kept coming back to one thing: who's better than Jimmy? And as we looked at it, we kept coming back to, he's got this, he's got that, but so does Jimmy. And Jimmy's been a head coach, and Jimmy's been successful, and Jimmy's been in an academy, and Jimmy's recruited at this level, and Jimmy's recruited at the highest level. And the more we looked at it, the more we realized that the person we wanted was here at West Point. And with that, I could not be more excited than to announce our new head basketball coach, Jimmy Allen.
Thank you. Thanks. It's incredible to have this opportunity. I'm privileged and honored to be here today. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, because there truly is no other place like Army West Point. And to be part of the Academy's mission and to work with the people here is humbling for me, and it's been enjoyable every day that I've been here. I'd like to start by thanking a number of people. First, General Caslin and Boo Corrigan, for their belief, confidence, and support of not only me, but what our program and our staff has accomplished in the last few years. I want to thank my parents, Jim and Linda Allen, and Katie and James Allen, for being here today. My sister, Angela Allen, and her family, Angela Cronk and her family, who couldn't be here today, but it's hard to put into words what their support means to me. I want to thank as well Gaylord Green, Bob Beretta, Garrett Monroe, Stephanie Minio for all of their help, their advice, and support throughout the last couple weeks. And I also want to thank Zach Spiker for his friendship, his loyalty, and his support for the last 6 years. He's someone with limitless energy and somebody that has just been awesome for me to work with on a daily basis. The last 6 years have been an incredible experience. I'm really excited for Zach and his family and the Spiker family, and I'm positive that Drexel University hired a great basketball coach, a better person, and I know that they're going to accomplish amazing things there. Our basketball staff: Justin Jennings, Drew Adams, Brandon Linton, Jeremy Hentz, Coach Swanson, Ben Leary. The last couple of weeks, I think for all of us to say have been stressful is a little bit of an understatement. But they've been awesome. They've continued working. They've supported me and our program and our guys. And I'm just grateful and excited that I get to keep working with those guys every day. Equally as important to thank as anyone is the players that are part of the Army West Point basketball program, both current players and former players. I can't name all the people that I've talked to right now. I wish I could. But especially the guys over the last 6 years that our staff has had a chance to coach, and the things that we've been able to accomplish has been unbelievably rewarding. and enjoyable, and I'm just thankful for all of their support, confidence, and belief and effort. We're all proud of what this basketball program has accomplished, but none of us are satisfied, and we're excited about taking this basketball program to the next level and making the next step. Thank you to everybody in the athletic department and the community for being here today, and also just to everybody that's reached out to our staff. All of us are appreciative of everything, and we're grateful that we get a chance to continue to work with each of you. I mentioned last week when this was announced that I feel like West Point has been part of my DNA since I was born. The values and lessons that my parents taught me are right in line with what West Point teaches. And there may have been a few days that I felt like a plebe growing up. I also mentioned last week that I fell in love with the game of basketball as a basketball camper here. And I was going into 6th grade. My parents, I think, wanted to get me out of the house for a couple weeks, so they signed me up for the camp. And Coach Whitkey was a basketball coach. Bob Horodesky was running the camp as an assistant, and I've been a fan ever since. I got to play noontime hoops with guys that played for Coach K, guys like Matt Brown and now General Bob Brown. I watched the teams here with Randy Cousins, Kevin Houston, Ron Steptoe, and then I got to coach against guys like Babe Kwasniak, Chris Spatola, Dax Pearson. I wasn't as big a fan then because I was coaching at Navy. I'm not sure how many head coaches ever get a chance to say that they were actually a camper at the school that they get to be a head coach at. So that's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful for me, and it's something I'm really proud of. When opportunities like this happen, I think it gives us all a chance to kind of look back and think about all the people that help us throughout our lives. And there's no way I can mention all of them, but it's because of the people that helped mentor me, coach me, teach me, friends, the people that have inspired me that I've been given, and given me opportunities along the way that have allowed me the chance to do this and be in this position. All of these people have helped shape me into someone that I think is uniquely qualified for this position here. My high school coaches at O'Neill in Highland Falls, Jerry Kaplan, Jim Ranieri, my high school coach at Northside in Roanoke, Billy Pope, those are all people that first, helped me to understand the influence and the positive effect that a coach can have on a player. Bob Johnson at Emory and Henry, he recruited me, he coached me, and then fortunately for me, he hired me when I graduated, and that's how I got started coaching. But there's no better leader, and there's no better person to teach the game of basketball and to learn from than Bob Johnson was. And I'm just grateful for he and his family, for everything they've done for me. Coach DeVoe at Navy gave me an opportunity in 1996 to coach at a service academy and help me understand, what it takes to build a championship caliber program at a service academy. Having a chance to work with Mike Young at Wofford allowed me an opportunity to work with someone who was taking over a program as a first-time head coach and experienced that. And then Charles Harris at Averett University hired me and gave me my first opportunity to be a head coach, myself. And in those years at Averett helped me understand that if you have a group of people working together, you can accomplish some pretty amazing things. And that experience was incredible for me as well. And then, as I mentioned earlier, coming back to West Point, joining Coach Spiker's staff, having a chance to work with these guys, helped me be a part of getting this basketball program back to a level of success. The things that I've been fortunate to experience to this point in my career have helped me learn what it takes to be successful. And moving forward, I can tell you that the players we have returning and the ones that we have coming in are really motivated to produce results and to be a part of this program. We're all going to work tirelessly to produce results on the court, in the classroom, and also in the core. And we want to be a program that makes Army West Point proud. It's important to all of us. And there's no one, I can tell you this, there's no one that has higher expectations for our basketball program than our players and our staff. And we're going to work tirelessly to make this academy proud of us. Thank you very much for this opportunity. We're excited to keep working here and ready to get going. So go Army West Point, beat Navy.
Go ahead, Ron.
Coach, Ron Mercantile, Examiner.com. What was it like, as you were talking about before, practically growing up on West Point, now being the boss? Is it something you could have ever imagined?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. Probably not until last week. You certainly think about things like that, but, it all certainly comes back into a little different perspective when something like this happens.
Does having had the experience coaching at another academy help? I was going to ask Butu also, is there something of an emphasis placed on trying to bring in coaches who have academy experience?
I think part of, as you look at what it is, it's so unique coaching here, it's so unique recruiting to an academy, that I think what you're really looking for is someone that understands what it is. I was just with a group before I got here, and in recruiting, it's easy to fall in love with talent and look and say, oh my God, look at how tall he is. Boy, she can really shoot it. But you can't just fall in love with talent. You got to fall in love with the right talent that has character, that's going to understand what it takes to get through the academy. So I think what we're trying to do is find a way, and we did with Jimmy, is find a way as someone who understands what it is, what the process is, and how to recruit here. So we're not going to skip a beat. We're not looking for, all right, let's settle for a while and then we'll bounce back. We got someone that can take where we are and keep moving forward.
Yes, I was lucky. I talked about my experience at Navy with Coach DeVoe, and I came at a time there, working with Doug Wojcik and Emmett Davis, who had been there for a while and helped recruit a number of those guys, and just understanding what kind of kids we needed to recruit, as Mr. Corrigan said, and just the numbers that you have to recruit, how you have to recruit, things like that, and then being able to bring that experience here, and the use of our prep school, things like that, it does take a while, and that's why I'm excited about our staff and the continuity that we are going to be able to continue to have. Is our staff is staying the same for the most part, and this is a staff that's been able to recruit guys that have stayed here. And I think that's been probably the biggest key to our success, is bringing in the right guys that are committed to being here at the academy, who are also really talented basketball players, and we've had great continuity there.
Go ahead, Sal.
Coach, what's the last week been for you since you've been named head coach? How has it been? Busy, crazy, or
it's been a little bit crazy. The Final Four got kind of thrown into the mix there, and that's kind of the National Coaches Convention. So we all went down there along with everything that's going on. But I mean, the best part of it is we really didn't miss a beat as a staff. We just kind of kept doing the same things that we've been doing recruiting wise. We were some of our assistants were on the road last week, even before the Final Four, and we were able to continue to do that, come back here, start workouts. So it's been pretty seamless in that sense.
Can you, I know you lost a talented senior class, but can you talk about the players you have back and what you expect out of that?
Yeah, I mean, we were the only team in the country that started 5 seniors, and had 4 guys that scored at least 1,000 points, and very lucky. That group accomplished a ton. We had a young team behind those guys. I know we've got some guys that have been in supportive roles the last couple of years, and then a really talented freshman class, I think. So it's a chance for those guys to step up, and we've had guys committed to being a part of this program and doing whatever it takes to support this program, and now those guys are going to get that opportunity.
Once Zach left, was there any hesitation on your point to jump right in and say, hey, I like this job? Or were you thinking to yourself, well, let me give it a minute or two?
No, there was no hesitation. For me, as I've mentioned before, this is my dream job. And when that happened, I was very hopeful that would be the case.
He actually delivered my paper the next day, which I thought was a good indicator. No, I'm just kidding. No. But again, as we looked at it, I'd be silly, you'd be silly not to be paying attention to everything that's going on. We're coming off arguably the best stretch in 90 years of Army basketball and what it is. So between Gaylord and Bob and Steph and Garrett, you're looking to staff as you go through the year, thinking that, hey, Coach Spiker's going to get a chance, and if he does, let's make sure we're ready, and make sure we're looking at different people around the country that have been here, that have had experience in those types of things. But again, as you keep coming back to it, the job that Jimmy had done and the rest of the staff, and kudos to the rest of the staff as well, and thank you for what y'all have done for the last couple of years and what we're going to do moving forward. But as you look at the totality of what the whole thing is, it's an exciting time, and what's better than continuing continuity when you're having success than continuing on.
All right. Thanks for joining us, and go Army.